All right, welcome back to another episode of Show Farm and Field. Today, we're going to take off where we left off in the last episode, which was just finishing cutting up the second tree. I left all of the rounds sitting around. So the first thing we're going to do is carry all those up to the pile. We'll uncover the little sickle bar mower, fire it up and clean that area up. And then I'd like to look where those trees were fallen. Looks like it could be a really great spot to start a cozy little fireplace area. So once we get it all cleaned up, we'll do a tour and try to get a feel for whether or not putting a fire pit there, at least for this season, will be a good idea. If things go really well, we'll actually get to start playing around with digging that out and making it a space. If not, you'll see that on the channel upcoming. So let's get to it. I'm going to uncover the mower, fire it up, and we'll head up to the back lot. Here we go. All right. Get this uncovered. Here we go. We don't need the camera hanger on this anymore because I found out that shakes way too much for that to work. Got that locked, choked, off. We'll try this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I left it with a full tank, so we're good there. And how do we do? 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Yeah, sounds good, but then dies. It seems like when I first get this running, I have to choke it and prime it a lot. Like it's starving for fuel. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. uh, 1, 2. Not like this. Gotta take a look. Not happy. I just can't get past the fact that this is still running like garbage. So, here we are. Going to pull apart this carburetor to see why we're having so much issues. I've been putting it off. And the whole tank of fuel through it, running it, and it's not better. Got to figure out what's going on. 5/16 for the air filter bolt. I think it's 1/4 for the ones that hold the air cleaner piece, bracket, whatever this is. Oh no, also 5/16. That's nice. Everything's the same. There we go. There. All right. Might be also 5/16. That's the idle screw. Maybe we could turn that up before we go too much further. The other thing I was wondering about is whether or not we're getting the full throttle range out of this right now. Oh, that's not magnetic. Must be aluminum. Okay. Let's see what that gives us. Yeah, that doesn't do anything anymore. Cool. Let me go get a clamp for this. Looking at. So if you see inside there, that's not doing it anymore. That's choke. And in order for it to choke, okay, it's choked now. I'm gonna yank on this and play with these different settings to see what's going on. Okay, should have the choke on right now. Well, let's put this back on and see. Can't tell you what I think. Oh, never see that again. I'm seeing it. There it is. Okay, enough for now. Okay, so that was the maximum in the opposite direction. This is here, I put it here. I'm gonna kind of split the difference this time. Let's see what I think. So cutting about half the range out, so maybe this is fine. If nobody's messed with this and that was the factory setting, then it's fine. I've just always wondered, because it seems like when you throttle this all the way up, it's short a little bit of RPMs. So I've been wondering if this moved at some point and was robbing some of the range of the. So now it's choked, but the choke is definitely not closed. Let me see if it's going to fire back up again. All right, so using more fuel from the idle mixer. Well, I feel 100% better. It really sucked to listen to this thing, brumba, brumba, knowing that something was seriously wrong with it. Couldn't figure it out. Uh, Obviously, just bumbling around, no idea what's going to fix it. And pulling the plate off and being able to look at the carburetor and see the butterfly valve and all of the linkage for how the throttle control works, the choke works, which, by the way, I don't really understand. It says choke, but there's not two throttle plates in there. It doesn't really have a choke plate, so I'm kind of still confused by that. I'll need to look into it. But essentially, for whatever reason, what's happening is the idle mixture screw, which we adjusted when we were working on this, I said it feels too far out, so I rolled it all the way back in and brought it out one, and that didn't help. even though it sounded like it was running a little bit better when I brought it in. And instead, I think what was happening is when the air filter was super plugged up, it wasn't getting a lot of oxygen or a lot of airflow. And that was causing the siphon in the bowl not to pull enough fuel out. And then I ran the screw in, which also restricted the amount of fuel that could pull through the siphon. And now that the air is good, letting the fuel flow properly up out of the bowl seems to have leveled everything back out. So it's running great. I hear it's perfectly smooth. Happy with that. Let's get back to work. Thanks for sticking it out for the automotive part, the motor part, the engine part. Thanks for sticking it out for fixing the machine. Let's get back up there and start cleaning on stuff. Well, there you have it. Big stuff's cut. Probably due for a stacking session. And the chainsaw needs fuel oil sharpening. And the saw blade chain is loosening up, so we'll tighten that back down too. All right, let's clean this up. So I've got the tree cut down into little manageable splittable pieces. There's one kind of tandem tree that's much smaller that still needs to be cut up, but for now I'm going to move all the logs up here, make a nice stack, turn this into a better walkway, and then back down to reset the chainsaw, and we'll come back and cut up the rest of those logs. Here we go. Okay, one major layer cleared out. Time to take the saw back down and refresh it. Bring it back up and sit. Cut that other smaller tree up and finish filling up our log pile here. Started to look pretty neat. Here we go. All right, chainsaw refresh, go. I found out while I was up there that the O-ring on this fuel cover is blown. So I'm gonna maybe put 3/4 or a half a tank of fuel and then try to hit up. Hopefully McClendon's carries them.
Tell me when to stop.
They're not moving there. I want to give a shout out to Pops on this. Got me, you can use a Sharpie to essentially mark the spot that you start. Kind of a good way to keep track of what's going on. Okay. All right, we're back. Have to close it out on this last tree. Off the chainsaw and start hacking. I'm getting hungry. This is still warm enough to fire. Back into the fray. Let's get this tidied up. Okay. This has the potential of becoming our fire pit spot. And for me, who cares if it actually does? It's something that motivates me to clean it up. So all these logs up to the pile. We'll get the sickle bar mower in here, clean it up, rake it, and then take a look and see what this little alcove could do for us in terms of family hanging out by a fire. Okay, this is looking good. Lots of moving logs. So there's a few more up there we gotta take a look at. Every patch that gets cleared makes me feel more motivated to keep going. In this next part, you can see we sickle blade mowed this first part in the previous episode, but never raked it. So this time, and when I say rake, I mean hoe with rake claws, because a real rake's too hard to pull through this. So I use this cheater rake, which works great. We're just going to skim all the junk off of this patch till you see where the next patch starts. If everything goes well, we'll bring the sickle bar mower up and we'll mow the second patch. And the third patch would be where we just cleared all the logs. So huge victory today would be to cover all three patches. Feels like a lot for a Sunday, but let's just get started with this patch and see where we get to. Right now I'm cheating because I haven't had to drag the mower up here. And if I'm still feeling energetic when I get there, we'll keep going. So let's begin. That's one patch. Now, let me think about the next step here. It's a really great time of year to pull sticker bush roots out. They haven't had a chance to start new growth for the season. Everything is damp and wet, which loosens up the roots and makes them easier to pull. But it's a lot of work and can wear me out. But what if we just set a goal of like, I don't know, 5%, 10% reduction in sticker bush roots and call that a victory? So that's what I'll try to do. I'll rip out every 10th one and we'll keep pulling roots out as time goes on, but just get a little bit done today. Here we go. Okay, I admit that might have been past the 10% quota, but it is so satisfying ripping the sticker bushes out by the roots and knowing that one's not coming back. So I might have gone a little bit further than we agreed to go. I think that's maybe okay, but it is time to move to the next step. So let's pause here on the sticker bush roots. I'm back. The sun is making its way towards the horizon. Got probably another hour's worth of energy in me. And I thought, well, let's do the second patch. So here it is. Sickle bar mower is just out of frame right there. It's running so much better than it was. I'm going to get it fired up. Ferns are keepers, so I'm doing what I can to try not to run the ferns over, but they will come back, so I'm not too worried about it. Mow all this down. I'm calling kind of where the logs start, the end of this second patch. Maybe a little bit smaller, but it's progress. Uh, to begin with, I think I need to rake just a little bit of the pile that's come pulled down from previous runs, just to make sure that the mower has as much access to the ground as it can get. And then mow, rake, and we'll see about stickers. I think we went a little hardcore on the last patch, so if I've got it in me, we'll do stickers. Otherwise, just clear. Let's do it. It's such a fun and instantly gratifying activity to use the sickle mower to just wipe out all of the sticker bushes that are left. And it's equally nice to rake it because just being able to look and see the dirt and the land again instead of just brambles is really nice. So, patch number 2, mowed. Next step, rake. Still got daylight, still got energy. So, let's get it cleaned up. There we go. There you have it. Patch number 2. Looking good. Making our way that way. I think we'll let the currently winning sticker bushes keep winning for today. But they're on my list, you know? They're not getting away with it. They're just getting away with it tonight. So, head back down to the house, take the kids out for pizza and ice cream because they helped Mom dig for an hour, which was great. And I'll see you back up here in the lot in the next sunny moment that I have. During the week, it'll be pedaling around, little stuff. I might shoot some of that, or I might just do it for the joy of being out here. But weekends, for sure, when I can make time, I just gotta keep plowing and eventually get a piece of equipment back here to do this the right way. I do not recommend using hand tools to terraform an acre, but on the flip side, I also don't recommend sitting on your couch and giving up on making progress because you don't have equipment. So I'm out here doing it, the family's helping. We're gonna keep making progress. And I'm already starting to see the vision for where we might get to plant some things. So pretty excited by that. And it's the beginning of the season, so lots of time to enjoy. Thanks for coming out for another episode of Show Farm and Field. I'm your host, Mike, and I will see you again next time.